any problem when he come to answer Linux interview question related to network? If you do, we're gonna fix that today. I have a list of 30 most asking Linux interview question. The list is divided into 6 parts. Every week, we're gonna have a dedicated video focused only on 5 questions, and this is gonna allow you to master the Linux interview question related to network. Without any further ado, let's go. In this series, we're going to go from the most easy question to the most difficult one. So the first question in this series is going to be, how do you check the IP address on your Linux system? To find the IP address on my Linux system, I will use the command show, or I will use the ifconfig on command. And here you can see my IP address. My IP address is definitely going to be different from your IP address. So to check the IP address on your Linux system, you can use the IP show command, or you can use the ifconfig command. What is the purpose of the etc host file? The etc host file allows us to resolve hostname to IP address locally, or it allows us to map the hostname to IP address locally. So let's take an overview of the etc host file, and for that we're going to use the cat utility. As you can see here, locally this IP address is mapped to this host name. We can also use the ping utility to see the mapping. So we can see how the host name is resolved or is mapped to his IP address based on this file locally. So in conclusion, during the interview, we should say that the etc host file allows us to map our host name to the IP address locally. The subnet mask can be identified on the Linux system by the NEC mask. So how do we check that? So this is the NEC mask that allows us to know the subnet mask of our system. The subnet mask allows us to know the network path and the host path of a specific address, IP address. On this system, we can see that this is already full, and this one, and this one. So on this IP address, this part represents the network because it is static, it cannot be changed. And the last part right here represents the host name, and that can be changed. So in simple words, the subnet mask is essential to know the network path of our IP address and also the host path of the device path that can be changed. What command is used to display all active network interface? The most easy answer is that the ifconfig all will display all the network interface on your system. So for this system, we have 3 network interface. However, during the interview, there are sometimes the hiring manager will ask you, how do you see how many links you have on your system? Is he asking the same question? So if you receive a question of how do you check how many links you have on your Linux system, know that he's talking about how many interface, and to see that you can use the API link. That will tell you that you have 3 links on your system. This is the first one, this is the second, this is the third. And this is your main network interface. So to check how many interface you have on your system, you can use the ifconfig-a utility, or you can use the API link utility. Welcome to the last question for this first part. This is one of the questions that you should make sure that you know the answer before your next Linux interview. And here is a question. How do you check the default gateway on your Linux system? There are many ways to check the default gateway on the Linux system, but I'm going to give you 2 examples that you can use for your upcoming interview. The first example is that you can use the command rpr to see the default gateway. Here is the default gateway on my Linux system. The second way is to use the root -n, and here you're going to see that you have that gateway. Ladies and gentlemen, we are at the end of this video. So for the first part, make sure that you know at least all the answers to the first 5 questions. And see you next time.